Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. How's it going? Hope you all have had a great day in the market. We are back with another recap, a midday recap I was about to say, but yeah, a day trading recap. And I just, I know I say on every single video, but I really truly mean it. Just thank you everyone who is subscribing, who's liking, who's commenting and joining me on this journey. It's really appreciated. We're getting more and more subs every day. And I'm just so over the moon with how everything's going so far. So as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, please comment down below what trades you took today, and if you have got the time, please like the video. It's really appreciated. And enough of that, let's get into the recap. So we are at another green day. We've been quite good recently. I can't remember, I think the last red day we had was last week. I think we've about even now on red days and green days, but the red days have slowly won so far. But nevertheless, I think Friday was a green day. We didn't trade Monday. Tuesday was a green day. Yesterday was a small green day, and today we're up $18.52. We only took one trade today, one trade only. I basically saw 3 opportunities today, which I will talk about. One of them we capitalized on, and the other 2, not sure why I didn't pull the trigger. But I guess it's I say that I didn't pull the trigger is due to maybe inexperience, but the experience I am getting now is that I'm starting to see these 2 setups, and they're pretty much the same setup. I've been seeing it. I'm seeing it more and more clearly in real time. That's the main thing. We look at these recaps, it looks really easy, but when you're doing it in real time with real money, that's when you've really got to handle the situation. So I will talk about that. So yeah, let's get into the recap. So this morning, it wasn't amazing, sort of gappers this morning. We did have AKDA, which is the one we traded. And we'll just go into that one because the others weren't really much to pay attention of. So AKDA, let me get my old planner like that. So as you see, this gapped up from around the $6 mark to here $6 mark up to a high of it was $9.70. The only issue with this was that once again, it's within so the stocks we're looking for is within our price range of around ideally around $3 to $6, $7 is ideal, but we will trade stocks $2 to $10, for instance, maybe even more than $10 if it's good, and maybe even less than $2 if it's good. But between 3 and 7, and definitely between 2 and 10, we can trade. The only issue with this is that it's made this amazing move pre-market. You see 7 o'clock this morning, hit a high of 970, and then it's just sold off. And it's very similar to Jivo, and that's what I actually kept in mind during this trade was Jivo, and I think that helped me out a bit. So remembering how, not that no one can predict the future, no one can predict what the market's doing, but there are certain patterns that do keep presenting themselves over and over again, and so Jivo was one I was keeping in mind of. Sadly, as you said, this was downtrended all the way to the market. Down. It kept most of the highs, but it has gone down about $150, well, to a low of $7.80, which is a couple dollars drop. So we definitely didn't like that. So at the open, once again, my plan was I actually had 2 plans, and these are kind of when I have a stock on watch pre-market like this one. I kind of have 2 plans. Can I buy it for a pre-market pivot break, and where can I buy that to? So in this situation was I was looking actually around the 830 mark up to a break of, we'll hopefully get the break of up to 850 will be the next sort of magnet point, and then if we get a little break of 850 we would sell. So as you see here, we start to consolidate pretty much around here, the 830 mark there, and when's the next realistic expectation will be the 850, so 20-cent move, so up to here of 850. If it breaks 850, we're looking to sell off after the break of 850, so maybe 855, maybe 860 if we're lucky. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Or the other thing I'm looking for is if we get a big drop down, if we get a washout, is there a support area that I can buy from a red to green move? So a lot of stocks, as you're probably more imagining now that you're seeing on this channel, where stocks do flush down, they hold, and then they pop up. and that's exactly the other thing I'm looking for. So I'm at the same time I'm looking at both options, and as you see here on this stock, we're starting. I'm looking really around here. We're getting a lot of body candles, and this was the 790 mark right there. And basically, so how I'm looking at this, we're getting some kind of support around the 790 mark, but definitely. So I was looking to get around that area, and then my stop would be definitely if it breaks below that 780 mark. So it's like a 10-cent stop. If it flushed down to 780 and it held, I would have bought at 780 or as quick as possible, and then look to ride it back up to the $8. But pretty much 780 would have been my stop if I got in earlier, like I did here, and it flushed down beneath it whilst I was in the trade. So as you said, we had them indications on indicators marked. I said I use TC2000 for charts. I just happen to have this whilst I'm trading because I can look at the level 2 on the chart in one screen. It really helps me rather than looking over here on a different monitor. But as you see, once again, trade aggregate, order history, straight out the gates at, we're 9 seconds into the market. We're in at, so we get the flush out down as I mentioned. So that's what we got. We got the flush out down. It sort of held here, and then it popped down. When it popped down, I got in for. I saw it basically stalling on the level 2 on here. So you get all here. You get all these big, as you see here. You get these big red. Once that sort of stops and we get a bit of green, and I see this slow down, that's when I'm looking to buy. That's my indication. So we don't want to just be buying it as it's going down because we don't know where it's going to flush to. We want to kind of see where it stops. That was my entry, and as you see here, cutoff will be at the 780, so I'm risking the 10-15 cents, and looking for pop up to $8, $8.20. So once again, sort of like a 1-to-1 ratio. We got in, as you see, basically 7.95, and we sold for 8.14, which is an 18.5 cent profit. Really happy with that. Once again, if I took 1,000 shares, we would be up $180. If I took 2,000 shares, we would be up $360. And today, make that money in 6 seconds. That's what we're looking at. So, in and out, get as much profit as possible, and that's exactly the plan. So obviously really happy, and once again, like what Jivo did yesterday, you see here, it's just sold off. It sold off. I weren't looking to buy these candles for a pop back up. You just, if anything, you're looking for a short then. And just to show you, I think Jivo is it yesterday, Jivo? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday, Jivo. If you look at Jivo again, so this is, look, Wednesday, you see we've got this big pop up. It sold off most of its position. Even had these little big crazy marks like it. And then at the open, once again, we got the pullback. We got the actual bounce back up. I actually did this twice before selling off. So this is exactly what I was keeping an eye. This kind of stock was in my memory because it only happened yesterday. So I was kind of thinking, will it play similar? Just because it done a similar pre-market action. So it's really important to sort of study the past and gives you a bit of an idea of the future. So that was it. I was done with AKDA. A couple of stocks come up on the scanners, TTOO, and this is where I sort of missed, and I'm going to show you exactly where my entry is. Pause the video now, see where I would have got in, where my entry would have been, see if you're right. It's a good way to learn. And there's sort of 2 entries that you can do here. I like to buy the lower entry, but basically we get this candle. So TTOO comes up on the scanners. It's showing some really good movements, volumes coming in, and you see we've got this 1 green candle here, 2 green candles. We get the 3rd green candle. What was perfect on and I said on the TC2000 charts is the VWAP. It pulled back directly to the VWAP there. And that's around the 460 mark basically. That was just a perfect entry. Pulled back to the VWAP, it held. I should have bought in for the 460. Stop would be $0.50, $4.50. So that's your 10-cent stop. Looking to get the pop back up, and that's exactly what it did. I don't know why I didn't do it, and I'm starting to see this pattern over and over again. Especially so, and the pattern is actually just to say again is we get these So we're getting stocks that are moving a decent range. This is a decent range it's moving. The stocks are coming up on the scanners, so other people are seeing it. So we're getting the volume coming in. This is the volume. We get the one candle. Well, we've actually got here 1 green, 2, 3, 4. So it's getting a little bit overextended. We wait for the pullback down. My entry would be as best as possible here, and then we're looking for the push up over here. So my ideal is, we're getting at the 460. I'm looking for, definitely. So I go in stages. So if I'm in at 460, I'm looking for 475, $5. So let's say each stage of a stock is the whole dollar, so $8, then 825, 850, 875, $9. That's sort of the increments I'm looking at. So I'm looking for a 475 price point to be here, and if it hits the 475, I'm then looking at the $5, and it's, if you see here, it's actually pretty good. It went up to 525. So you see almost that quarter resistance point there, and so that's exactly what we're looking for. The other entry, so my entry would have been bottom of that pullback. Your other entry could have been right here as this first candle makes the new high at that's right, about 480. So you could have bought 480 for the ride up to 5, either or. I like to buy the pullback. I just think you get a bit. I personally think it's a bit less risk. It's less risk. It's more reward, because once it pulls back here, if it doesn't go, I just sell. And if it drops down, I'll just sell straight away. Like I said, the 450 mark. And if it does go, we get more gains on that entry. And you can buy for the 480. Perfectly good to buy it there. That gives you more confirmation that the stock's going up, but you never know. It could only go up to 480, 490, so you sort of get less win. So you've got to be a bit quicker as well with the old hotkeys. So that's why I prefer to buy the dips and sell the rips, as they say. And so a bit disappointed I missed that. We got this opportunity again, but once it starts to make this move, this is not what I'm looking for when we get these big candles, these big long wicks, because that's basically just saying that's selling pressure, pushing the stock down, pushing this one down, and I don't really like that candle. We want the full body candles as you see here, and the other stock, and you'll see pretty much the same thing happened on Zizan. Come up on the scanners. This one not as good, so I can understand being a bit more hesitant on this, but once again, as I'll show you. So Zizan's known for making moves. Been traded recently. It comes up into. I don't know if it did come up in the scanners. I believe it did, but it was making a move. It was called out in the Warrior Trading Room, and I believe it might have come up in the scanners. I can't remember for certain. But once again, you see before it got notified, it's made these big moves: green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle. A little bit of wicks, which we're not the happiest with. We prefer these full body candles like these ones, but and this one. But once again, we get the pullback, and then so my entry would have been here, and then we get the push forward, and that's when we're selling to that push. So pull back to about the 540 area. So when we're getting that 540, we're basically thinking, okay, we're aiming to sell this at break the $0.50, so the 550, sell it into like 555, so it's about 15-cent profit. So in this one, if my target profit is 555 or 550, so it's only 10-15 cents, then my stop's got to be the same. And my stop would basically have been the low of this candle here, which is the 534. So risking about 8 to 10 cents there. But once again, as you see, just like TTOO did, we got the 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. So we get this extension to green, we get the pullback, and then we get the push forward. So that is today's recap. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're enjoying all the videos and the series that we're creating here. Once again, just want to thank everyone who has subscribed, all the new subscribers that we're getting daily. It's really, really appreciated. And that is the end of February. So I will be doing a February recap, and I'll go over everything, because there was a couple weeks of trading I did before I went live with the YouTube channel. So I'll do a full recap on the month. You'll see all my green days, all my red days, my profit loss, my accuracy, everything. I'm going to use a site called TraderView. So what you do is you import. So I go into Trade Zero. You get all your data that they store. I take that over to it's just an Excel sheet basically. It takes it over. I import into TraderView, and then it just gives me more statistics on everything. So that is it. Once again, today we are up $18.52 before commissions. Commissions around $1 per entry, so we're up about $16.50 ish after commissions, and we're ending the month on a green day, and we're on a little bit of a green streak right now. So let's keep this momentum going. And once again, thank you everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I will until tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye bye.